Now look, I know there's a huge misconception in the One Piece community when people think that haki is a very vague power system and not a lot has been explained. But if we pay attention to the series and what's been going on, haki has been explained thoroughly. And I think a lot more is going to be coming. And if we take what we already know, we can already predict what's going to come in the future. Now let's get into it. All right, now I'm gonna start this video off by saying, typically when we think about armament haki, we all think about the black coating that we all used to seeing, that we all first saw when Luffy first came out of the time skip. Now that's one color of arms. There's actually 9 colors of haki. Now I'm gonna explain it for you. Now, if we've been paying attention from the beginning of the series, Oda have displayed 9 distinct colors of haki, and these are primarily the colors that Oda loves to use as symbolism for character design, and especially haki. Like I mentioned before, when we think of armament haki, we typically think of the black armament coating, and we look at the anime as being very inconsistent. And I see a lot of people complaining about the auras in the anime, specifically the color schemes that the anime goes with when it comes to displaying the unique colors of haki. And I think that this was given to the anime staff directly by Oda to show the uniqueness and the different attributes of the color of arms. Now, we all know about the black haki, right? I would consider that normal armament. That's plain old normal coating of arms. Anybody can do this. If you can coat yourself with the color of arms, is usually going to come out black. That's the very first level of the coat of arms. I'm not really going to include the invisible coat in here just for continuity, and I can get into that later in another video, but we're just going to say the first time we seen armament coating, it was in black. Now, that's very important because that's the very first stage of armament haki before you develop your own personal color of arms. Now, I'm explaining to you what that means. The first time we ever seen a color variation in the color of arms specifically was in Dressrosa. Now, a lot of people thought that when Luffy first went into Gear 4th, that the reason why he went with a red color scheme was because it was insinuating that Luffy was kind of blending Gear 2 with Gear 3, because Gear 2 also had a red color scheme. So people just assumed that the red color scheme was because he was also in Gear 2 while he was using the Gear 4th mode. But that is actually incorrect. The red color scheme is based off of Luffy's personal haki color. Now, each person has a certain color of haki that they're sort of like attuned to. But as I break it down, you're going to see that they can also tap into different colors as we move along. Now, when I first saw Luffy in Gear 4th, it triggered something in my mind, but I didn't quite get to it yet. It's not until we got to Whole Cake Island when I started putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, I'm going to go back to Dressrosa in a minute, but let's get to Whole Cake Island. The second time we saw a color variation in haki, specifically the coating of arms, is we saw blue coating. Now, this blue coating, interestingly enough, came from Katakuri. Now, when Luffy and Katakuri first started fighting, they both were using black armament haki, the normal coating of arms. Katakuri was still overpowering Luffy with just raw strength and technique, showing Luffy that no matter how strong you are, I can do the same thing you're doing, but I'm just way stronger. And he was just using normal armament. Then he did Block Mochi. His Block Mochi, which had a blue tint, was way stronger than Luffy's black armament, to where it bruised Luffy when he was using his black armament. So this indicated that he was using a way higher tier of haki, and that kind of confused all of us because we was like, wait, how was his armament haki damaging Luffy when Luffy's rubber and he's using haki as well? This is when we found out that he's actually using something I like to call stage 2 armament, when you're also in tune with your color of armament. Now, Katakuri, I'm assuming his color of armament that he's in tune to is blue. Now, when Luffy realized what was going on, he immediately thought to himself, hey, that block mochi form is very similar to my Gear 4th form. That's why when Luffy went into Gear 4th, which is his stage 2 color of arms, he was able to match Katakuri's block mochi, because that is him using his color of arms in tune with his color of haki. The red tint in Gear 4th, and Katakuri has the blue tint with haki in his block mochi form. Now, interestingly enough, this is the only time we've seen someone in a series coat their body in a specific color of haki. Catch what I just said. This is the first and only time so far we've seen anybody besides in Dressrosa coat their entire body in a specific color of haki. Now I'm gonna get back to that again. Let's get to the other forms and colors of haki. Now, I'm gonna put the colors out now. There's green haki, there's purple haki. Now, we've seen green haki and purple haki before. For instance, the first time I've ever seen haki with a purple tint on it is when Zoro used the purple tint when he coated his swords, and he had the purple aura leaking out of his sword, specifically wrapped around the black aura. And I thought that was just for anime flair, but then once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I knew that that was very intentional. Once again, Zoro was the first person we seen display a smidget of purple aura around his armament haki. Now, granted, he did not coat his hand with the purple aura, but the purple aura was swirling around his sword. It was a purple and black aura in Dressrosa. I'm going to try to have some pictures up here so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, the other colors of haki, I'm going to put them out now. There's yellow haki, there's pink haki, white haki, and there's another form of haki that I'm going to get to very last. And it's orange. Now, I'm going to break this down. Oda loves colors, and he's been playing with our head from the very beginning with the colors and the colors of arms. These are the main colors Oda uses for everything in the story. As you probably already noticed, if you look at the three primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, we know he loves to use these colors for several things. Just off the top of the head, the admirals, red, blue, yellow. And if you look at the other colors of haki, they also depict admirals. You got purple and you got green, but that's kind of getting off the subject. Just get back to the colors of haki. Now let's get to what all of these colors mean. Now, what I've been able to surmise, I've been able to gather what these specific colors of haki mean and what they might be attuned to. From my estimation, the red haki is more attuned to something akin to strength and durability. Now, when you see someone display red haki, whether it's on an attack, whether it's wrapped around, some lightning or something, that's signifying strength and durability. Now, as far as the blue haki, the first time I ever seen blue haki displayed, regardless if it was coated on somebody or anything, was a flying air slash that Zoro did. Zoro was the first one to display blue colored haki. His slashes were colored blue, and we thought they were air slashes, but no. When we found out in Wano that Zoro was actually using Ryo. So when Zoro was throwing out those blue slashes pre-time skip, those were actually Ryo slashes. We know that for a fact now, and they were blue. So I surmise that the blue haki stands for speed and precision. Now, this is the first two things I worked out. When you look at Katakuri, he was very precise and he was based off of speed. That's why he was even able to keep up with Luffy's fastest form, which is Snake Man. He still was able to keep up with that because his haki that he's attuned to is speed and precision. Obviously, a swordman would be in tune with speed and precision because he has to do fast slashes and it has to be very precise. Luffy's more strength and durability. He displayed that exactly in Gear 4th. Nothing but strength and nothing but durability. Now, this is when things get super interesting. I'm going to leave the gold haki or the yellow haki and the white haki alone for now, just for now. This is when things get interesting. When you start to mix these colors and you come up with other unique forms of haki and branches of these haki. Now, back to what I said. Zoro was the first one to display purple haki aura. The purple haki aura is like when you mix these two hakis together, you get the purple one. He started displaying this after the time skip. When he trained up his strength and durability, trained up his speed and precision, he was able to display purple haki. Very interesting. Now, before we get into the other colors, I'm going to talk about the very first time we ever seen auras in the entire story. The very first time we ever seen auras in the entire story was way early in Little Garden. The first two people we seen with auras is Dory and Brogy. And we know for a fact that they use Rio. And the color auras they had was blue and red. See, now you know that the auras aren't just some stuff that the anime added. This is something Oda did intentionally. Now, the reason why I say that is that helped me surmise what these abilities, what these attunements might be. Then I started thinking what everything else could be. All right, if purple is a mix of speed, durability, strength, and precision, that's perfect. Now you start to look at what type of people have displayed these colors or what type of people are associated with these colors. Then I started to think about the other forms of haki. I was able to surmise that the golden haki or the yellow haki, we know what that is. We know clearly the anime told us what the golden haki is. The golden haki is associated with King's haki. Now it's starting to all come clear, right? Now it made sense. The white haki is associated with God haki. Now, knowing this, we could surmise what all of these other colors come from. Now look, I just told you that strength, durability, speed, precision, King's haki. This is when everything makes sense. The first time I started thinking of every time I ever seen these colors in a series, with whether it was a swordman displaying Rio, or whether it was somebody coating themselves with a specific color, or whether it was somebody using an aura. Then I started thinking, holy shit. Then I started thinking about where we seen these other auras from. Then it started to make a lot more sense. Now, the only time we've ever seen a consistent pink aura was from Big Mom. Now, it makes a lot of sense. If you mix God level haki with strength and durability, you could get the pink. Now, that might be slight of a stretch, but that's the only way to get pink is mixing red and white. Then I started thinking about the King's haki thing. Think about it like this. When Zoro first displayed Conqueror's haki, they put a golden aura around Zoro. Then he did the Dead Man game against Kaido. After that moment, Zoro went and combined his natural attunement, which is speed and precision, with his newly found King's armament, and then he started displaying a green aura, the King of Hell. Now Zoro has access to the blue aura, the gold aura, the purple aura, as well as the green aura. Now, where did he started displaying the purple aura in mass quantities? The moment he got Enma, he started spewing purple aura. Like I said, purple is associated with strength and durability, Enma, speed and precision. The moment he touched Enma, Enma pulled out his purple aura to the max and almost killed him because he's tapping into two different attunements here. You see how this is all making sense? So Zoro has access to 4 different kinds of haki colors. Zoro has blue with his normal slashing attacks. He has green with his King of Hell. He has purple when Enma's pulling his haki. He has gold when he's in just normal King's haki coating mode. Luffy also has red. He has white, clearly. Gear 5th gives him God level. He has red and inside of Gear 4th, and he has King's haki. He displayed that in the anime, and people were getting mad, calling it Super Saiyan aura, but no, that's him tapping into the King's haki portion of the color of arms. Now I want to get into the other color. Like I said, pink. We've only seen one person use a pink aura. That's Big Mom. And it's safe to say Big Mom is all strength and durability. And it's safe to say she might have some God level powers because her conception is even unfathomable to giants and people of God status. You know what I mean? They even, the whole Mother Caramel worshiping her and all, it's a lot of things I can get with that. But Big Mom definitely has God tier Haki as well. And I think somebody else that has this God Haki that we've seen is Sengoku and Whitebeard as well. I can get into that later. But now, I've been saving the best for last, basically. And we can get into like Fujitora displaying purple aura. The first time we seen Mihawk, the first slash Mihawk did, all of Mihawk slashes in Marineford were green. Go back to Marineford. Mihawk had a green tint to the majority of his slashing attacks. He had some blue ones, but he also had a green tint, especially the one he sent that Whitebeard. And I was wondering why is Zoro slashes blue, but Mihawk's is like this greenish color? Because obviously Mihawk was adding a little bit of that King's Haki to them slashes to make it a little bit green. Now, as you can see, I've left the last color, the best color for last, orange. Now, there's one color combination I didn't explain yet. Red and yellow. Red and yellow obviously makes orange. Now I know what you're thinking. We don't have orange Haki. We haven't seen orange Haki auras. And I'll say you are correct. We haven't seen orange Haki auras. Because Oda is slick as hell. Oda is a genius. We haven't, but we have. The orange Haki aura is signified as fire. And there you have it. That's the last color of the color of arms. Now, people who use fire attacks have access to that color of Haki. Now, there's only a very small finite people who've ever displayed this color of Haki or fire attacks. That's mixing strength and durability with the King's Haki. There's two people you could think of off the back. Luffy, Red Hawk. He displayed that's fire Haki. And we always thought that Red Hawk had something to do with Haki, but is yet to be explained. That's your explanation right there. Also, funny enough, the first person we ever see use this type of Haki was Sanji. Diablo Jambu is straight up and down fire Haki, the orange color of Haki. So, in Enies Lobby, Sanji activated King's Haki with the strength and durability Haki, and he created Diablo Jambi. Luffy did the same thing after he learned how to master his strength and durability. After he learned what King's Haki was, he developed Red Hawk using the orange Haki. Now, that's another character, funny enough, who've used all the fire Haki too. And I know you already thinking about it. Fox Fire Kinemon. Now, we all thought Kinemon was some sort of clown that, you know, whatever. He knows fire techniques. And we only thought that he can cut fire. But no, Kinemon can create fire. Kinemon turned his sword on fire and cauterized Kiku's wound. So Kinemon has access to the fire Haki. So it's already confirmed that the fire attacks is all Haki based. Kinemon, Luffy, and Sanji all have access to that. So you know what that means. I know y'all gonna be mad. That means Kinemon has access to King's Haki's coating. Now look, I know it's gonna sound wild, but that's the only thing that makes sense. Now, when we look at other people that's associated with fire attacks, you got King or the Lunarians as a whole. They were said to be god-like people, so it's not crazy to think that they had these two Hakis mixed, the red and the yellow, and things like that. And funny enough, when you associate the people who can do fire attacks, Zoro is the perfect counter to that because he's the king of hell. And he could kind of cut fire. So Zoro's final form is this, and that's like Sanji's. So I thought that was funny when I figured that out. Now let's also talk about what else these colors could mean and what they've been used for. Now, if you pay close attention, we mentioned how these colors were used for the admirals. Like, we got these 5 colors right here. They were used for the admirals. We can even add 6 if you want to say Sengoku is the white admiral. But now think, there's pink. The pink admiral is Kobe. Now it's making sense. Kobe's the pink admiral who's going to have access to pink haki, which is god level haki and strength and durability. Any other combination is not going to suffice to be Luffy's rival. Any other combination, he can have all of them, but this has to be his natural attunement to allow him to fight on par with Luffy. Like I said, he can get access to all of them. Like Sanji even added a little bit of blue fire in there. He has a special version of the fire haki because he got the blue fire. So he's kind of adding the red and the yellow to make the fire. Then he's throwing speed and precision on top of that to make the blue fire. You see what Oda did there? That's why his Ifrit Janbei is blue. Now getting it in Luffy's Gear 5 guard mode is white. And then, you know, the Minx is white. Now, I said that's dope. Now, this is all the Admiral colors. Then I was like, damn. Who is the orange admiral? Did it hit me? Holy shit. Oda already told us. Ace was supposed to be the orange admiral. Ace was the fire Logia. Bingo, right? It all makes sense. All right, look. I know Ace is not technically an admiral, but Garp did state he wanted Luffy and Ace to join the Marines, and I always thought it would have been dope if Ace would have been similar to the Orange Admiral. And speaking of Garp, you can actually look at Garp as the black sheep, or the black admiral, so to speak. Pretty dope. Now, I haven't really been able to make out what these specific haki attunement colors mean, like the pink, the purple, and the green, but I know they are a combination of these other ones. That's why I kind of left those blank. But when you look at this simple graph, you'll get a vast understanding of how haki works, how you can mix and match these haki colors to create new forms of haki, new haki attacks, and all of this type of good stuff. There's another thing I noticed that let me know that this was in stone. This was in stone. When the Scabbards attack Kaido, specifically when the Scabbards go and do the Paradise Totsuka Odin attack, 4 Scabbards step up to do the 2 sword attack. And those 4 Scabbards have 4 distinct, unique auras when they go attack Kaido. You got Kinemon with the orange aura behind him. Go check it out. It's an anime. I probably throw a screenshot up here. You got Ashura Doji with the pink aura. You got Denjiro with the blue aura with a little bit of white, so it's like light blue. Then you got Duke Dogstorm. He has a white aura, and he's in Sulong Mink form, which is similar to Joy Boy, which is a God mode form. There you go. If you look at that attack right as they jump at Kaido, their auras are trailing them, and it's white, pink, blue, and orange. That let me know the aura theory is solidified. It's solidified. Then I went back to Dressrosa, where I first started coming up with this theory, and it blew my mind. Holy shit. There's one person we've seen use all of these haki colors. Every color of haki. See, look, we never seen Luffy use green, purple, and blue yet. We seen Doflamingo use every haki color. Granted, it was on a very small scale, and it was very subtle and very slick. If you go back to the Doflamingo fight, I always wondered why Oda was coloring his haki strings white sometimes. He never colored them black. He never colored the strings black. until the very end when they were black with a purple aura around them. But when Law and Doflamingo was fighting, he had the strings rainbow colored. So Doflamingo was coating each individual string with a different color of haki. So those rainbow strings that Doflamingo throw at you, they are all imbued with a different color of haki aura. Then I thought to myself, damn, Doflamingo got the red one, he got the blue one, he got the King's Haki one, he got the white one. All of his strings were white, coated in haki, the God threads. You see how that works? He had the purple one. The green was probably thrown into the rainbow palette. And then I said, damn, he got everything but the fire one. It didn't hit me. Holy shit, he does have the fire haki. The heat string. The heat string. We thought Doflamingo was creating friction with that heat string shit. No, he has access to fire haki. So you know what this means, right? You see how they brought every character Luffy fought back way stronger than they was? When he beat them? Holy shit. Holy shit. When Doflamingo comes back, and he has the pink color scheme, when Doflamingo come back to the story, he's gonna have every color of arms mastered. He's gonna be a true rainbow. Crazy. But yeah, man, that's my theory on haki. Now, if you pay attention, all the evidence is there. When you go back and look at the story through this lens, the auras actually make a lot of sense. And you can't really display that in the manga at all. This is what makes the anime more important than ever, especially the Wano Country arc. Now, what this actually lets us know about the future is, in order for the Straw Hats to compete at the highest level, they're gonna have to master all of these levels of haki. Now, interestingly enough, when you go back to Luffy channeling his Rio for most of those attacks, you can see the majority of these primary colors rolling through his veins. Like, he's getting used to all of these haki colors. I don't think he's gonna tap into pink. I think he needs purple and green. He has the fire. I think he just needs to access the purple and green haki for some sort of attacks. Or once we find out what these are in tune with, then we can figure out if he even needs that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But he definitely needs to master all 5 of these haki forms. He has the fire down pack. He just learned the Kings. He needs to master the speed and precision along with the strength and durability to end up accessing this one. Now, I know Oda gave out what each Straw Hat is going to specialize in specifically. And I agree with that. I agree that Zoro's going to master Armament Haki, and, you know, Luffy's going to master Kings, and Sanji's going to master Observation. But I'm talking about just within the realm of color of arms, we can already see that Zoro at the moment has access to more colors than any of the Straw Hats. Zoro has purple, green, blue, and yellow. Clearly. That's more than any of the Straw Hats. So he's already mastering the color of arms. You see how that works? I don't know if he'll tap into pink. He'll definitely get red for sure. And he'll definitely get God. So he might not get the pink aura, but he'll get all the other colors for sure. 100%. Zoro's going to be throwing out attacks of each of these colors. And if he doesn't get fire, he can cut fire. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So Zoro will have all the base haki colors, and he'll be able to mix and match to create these two. The other Straw Hats won't really get these. So, you know, all of that stuff makes sense. When you go back and watch these fights and you look at the different aura attacks, the different colored attacks, it makes a lot of sense. Even when you look at all of the Rio attacks, it was colored that way for a reason. You can pay attention to the swordsman to really get a fix on what each color probably does. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's what I wanted to say. It's a lot more I can get into. I'll probably make another video eventually, but for now, we're going to leave it there. All right. Now that's my explanation of the color of arms in Armament HAKI.